Hi, everyone. So I wanted to tell you today, which I didn't realize until yesterday, that today is International Storytelling Day. And it started about 35 years ago, apparently. And what's amazing about this day is, so I went down to, they had a local international celebration festival in San Diego on Coronado Island at the public library. And it was great because the whole culture, they had storytelling, some real stories. People talked about real stories or personal stories. People talked about real stories of stories they'd heard, and they even had children activities. They told fairy tale stories to children, and it was just awesome. And there's something that's really just amazing about all this, right? That I'm trying to put this in the right words. That's why I'm trying to pause. I apologize. Like, well, Kirk, just spit it out. Well, here's the thing is that we're living in the best story they've ever written by your God and the creators, the authors, the producers, the angels, the Lord, Satan, all of them. This is just an amazing story, isn't it? Now, I know it's painful, and I told you it's a divine comedy. And so, we through the pains, the tribulations, the sorrows, the hurts, but there's also the love, the passion that brings us that reality, the duality of making us holy, right? But what really amazing is that, we look at history, and I told people, I actually did a public speech there, and I hope I awaken them to, like you, all my friends out there, about the truth, about we're living in this matrix. It's a place of just, we're trying to escape and trying to make sense of this reality. And I told them that the truth, I said, 99% of your world is a lie, and 99% of it is spiritual, right? That's why we fight by principalities, these things like this. But I kept it real basic because I wasn't there to give a religious speech. I just told them the truth. I said, I'm a truther. I've traveled the nation. I said, that you've got to not let the fear and guilt and control matrix. Have no fear, the false guilt. Have no guilted sense that people put false guilt on you. Like you care about other people. Like why aren't you wearing the mask? Because if you cared, you put on your mask for other people, and that takes away free will. A young gentleman had his mask on the front seat. I said, young man, I said, why don't you have a mask on? He said, because that's my choice. He understood it. Can you believe this? He was only about 19 years of age. He understood that he had that right. Are you kidding me? And the rest of the world doesn't even see what this young man had in his heart. So, fear, guilt, and control. Control you through the system, the programming, the movie, the music. We all know that, right? But see, and I told him that, the public library, I said, we're right here in this public library. I said, 50% of this, possibly at max, or there are some truths, history is here. It's his story. They're writing this, the system. They tell you from the day you start school that this is your history and this is what the world is, and they start programming you. And I said, that's not true. And I said, there's some 50 cents truth in there if you read the right things and look in the right spots. And so I said, even in this library, we think public libraries only hold truths. We take it for that. Why would it be so official and public to the people, right? And they understood it. And I said, many things are real. I said, probably Atlantis is real. We should know Atlantis is real. We know that possibly dragons. They're now finding evidence of dragons that existed. And I told them that pyramids. I said, I've seen pyramids. I saw one in Mexico even. So our entire history has been covered up and washed away, and we don't even know what happened 100 years ago before. And I can't talk to my great-grandparents. They're not alive. What about their great-grandparents? So history is only what mankind has put down in the books, right? Like, we know this because they're lying about entire reality, lying about history, right? We know there's been multiple resets. We've seen things like mud flood. We think a reset may have happened in 1852 or 54, I think, and all these resets, they're not recorded in history, right? And whether, but in the end, it really doesn't matter because we are here in the now, and that's what we're supposed to focus on. because we're part of this great awakening, a great new opportunity to bring in, love and peace and joy in a new era, right? And bring heaven truly here on earth. Because that's why we're awake, right? We'd be asleep otherwise. And even the Lord, he said, you're in this world, but not of it. And he was trying to tell us the whole thing is a fabrication, great deception, right? But, the thing is, I kept it to a more modern thing with the people. I told them, I said, you're kind of living in a matrix. I said, we got to escape the matrix. I said, seek your spirituality, seek your God, seek your creator, and seek these things, right? And it's a great moment because, that's why I'm here. I'm here to spread the truth. I'm trying to help them, and so are you. That's what we're here for, truthers, right? And let's be the truth. But I also want to talk to you, I know this is getting a little long now, but, the thing is, so we don't even know of all the realities that existed before or after. And, who created the Great Pyramids? How were they built? How long it's standing? We don't actually know. One time it was a lion, now it's got a face of a phoenix. So even somebody took something that was rock hard and modified it, right? So we can search and dig deep and look at the galaxies and have telescopes and look all over the place to see where are we from and where we come from and what is our history. It is important that we understand our roots, right? But it's also important that we go forward like a tree from those roots, that we mark it down and move forward and let's love one another. Let's show this world that whatever reality it is, that we're here to finally be the change, be the love, the life, and the light of this place. Joy in every heart and every soul. That every dream should go fulfilled. That a child's heart shouldn't be broken by running across the street from a war or scared in the middle of the night because their parents are scared. Or wearing a mask or a vaccine shot just because the parents say so, because they were ordered by the system. But that's the way it should be. Right? Because, so we all are a story. That's what I want to tell you about this. That you have a story, I have a story, and we all have a story. And I always start to put these pieces together. I'm like, why like you, the 144,000, why is it I can't just sit down and talk to you? Because we were developing the book for the glory of God and learning and becoming the best we could. We couldn't just sit down at a festival or meet at a storytelling place and say hi. I mean, I was in Colorado, I couldn't find anybody else that was Mandela awake or just awake in any sense of beyond the spiritual world, right? I mean, beyond the material world, right? So, the book of life, it's written in Christian. I'm not trying to Bible thump the Christian way. God has made you part of that book. And thank goodness, right? We're running that story, that script. And we're being a part of that. Isn't that amazing? I mean, really, just, it's so incomprehensible how everything was so fine-tuned to the sharpest instrument, to the sharpest music, to the sharpest story ever written. This is the great story. Are you kidding me? You're living the best story that was ever written. Ever. And a part of this is just so shocking. It's just amazing. Think about the story of how it began so far back with Moses, and even before Moses, it came with caveman, the story, and it came with all these pieces, some with truths and faults, the yin and yang of it, right? And just to think that you're sitting here, and so am I, fulfilling that story that was created for us. I mean, how much things can we give the author, our creator, and the other ones the producers? It's like even the Lord was a part of that, right? So was Moses, so was Socrates, probably even Buddha, right? It was part of the story. They all had the little piece in their little part, right? And it's coming down to these moments that we're hitting that chapter in the story. Isn't it just crazy? We're at that final chapter. And we're going to finish that chapter. And then it's just going to be a whole new book and a whole new life and a whole new story. Like the Never-Ending Story. You know, what a great movie, right? It goes on forever. And we're going to be part of that never-ending story. Isn't that just amazing? Just like the movie. It almost brings tears to my heart, you know, but just the happiness of it and everything like that, right? But that's something I want to add, you know, because even when I was growing up, I did not read the Bible much, and my grandmother, she tried to be a Christian. She ended up being there at the end because she got abused so bad by the churches. I mean, the stories she told me, how hateful they were to her, treated like garbage, and she was just a Kansas young lady, and you know, like many stories you hear. And she tried to be a part of that, but she wasn't accepted in, pushed out. You know, she really tried. I mean, he did try, right? But what was really interesting about her story, and you know, I looked into it because she talked about it, some of my mother, that the Bible doesn't make chronological sense in certain places, right? You have some contradictions. You have stories of crazy, like, my God, if you took the Bible and started talking like this happened today, like, you know, being thrown up from a whale, or taking a jawbone and beating 1,000 soldiers in Ukraine, or angels, seeing angels of, you know, floating and helping you and talking to you, they put you in the middle in 2 seconds, right? But every one of our Christians brothers and in their religion, they still follow that truth that there's a spiritual world. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it? But see, they're the ones that are seen insane, when in reality, that is the truth, right? And what also meant with this is that the Bible didn't make chronological order to me, and it conjectured me. For example, you know, it was like I couldn't understand why Adam and Eve left the garden. All of a sudden, there was other people, and it was the land of Cain, you know, or right? I was like, what? What do you mean? Where did these people come from? And there's certain parts where it's not chronologically doesn't make sense. I thought there's the first. But what you find out is it's nothing but a collection of stories. There's a man named Jeffrey Daughtry. He's actually having an interview tonight with Brian Staveley, you know, a truther, a Mandela effect guy. And Jeffrey Daughtry just has the utmost hate towards Christianity. He was a 25, 30-year preacher, and he calls bull crap on all of it, the Bible, and says it's evil, and said the Lord, he makes fun of the Lord even. He called him many damn names. But I think, see, he didn't realize what, you know, because he studied it to find out that man had manipulated it. Satan had as well. But there are truths in it, a lot. And that it's just a dang, it's a letter from God. It's also a story. It ain't gonna make perfect sense. Does any story ever make a perfect sense? But in the end, it's the emotion. It's what you learn from the story. I mean, think about if us Mandela Effect people wrote a story about today. They'd say, oh, those people, they're crazy. What do you mean? Solomon's changing history, multiple universes, parallel universes, and what? How would you, you know, even if you documented it, they would say, what is this? This can't be biblical. We can't even get true, supposed to be preachers and pastors to understand the line is to lay down with the lamb in Scripture, right? I must have misremembered, they'll say, or blasphemy. It's just a story, folks. It doesn't have to make 100% sense. When did anything ever make 100% sense? It sounds crazy. There is sanity in insane. And that's what you got to remember. Don't try to put the pieces together. The only piece is the piece you love, joy, and God loves you. That's all you need. You know? The why. You know? Why All collection of stories. The book of life, I go back to that. Keep on writing your book of life with your creator. Right? Let them guide you and help you in the direction. Let these other people, you're part of my story. You know? We're all part of each other's story. And it's a divine comedy, divine opera, divine play, divine movie. It's like a full virtual reality, what you're living in it. Every time you breathe, or just look out and see the world, right? You couldn't ask for more. So, let's finish this story, because every story, fairy tale, has a happy ending, doesn't it? Right? It's just shocking as you come to that truth, isn't it? You can call it the simulation, you can call it the anger of scripts. Some people hate it. Said, man, where's my free will in it? The free will is that you continue going forward, because you can sit on your hands and sit down on a corner and say, I don't want to be part of that, but then you're going to miss out on the greatest story ever told. Ever. The greatest movie. We're living it right now. Even Rotten Tomatoes couldn't put enough thumbs up on it. It's painful, yes. It's rotten. But boy, that sweet tomato, this isn't the end of it, right? I give 5 stars or whatever they have for this story that we have, that we're living. All right? So I'm going to show you one more thing about, this is more about celebration and stories. This is our fairy tale that we're living right now. And I want to show you some things I took today. This is kind of a cool photo, just real quick. This is the Sandman. He did little sand castles out here in front of the Coronado Hotel. But that's not what I'm really. Here's Welcome to Coronado, March 19th, 2022. And then, but see, here's the local. The reason I'm sorry to go show you this, but I just want to show you the day I had. I'm a little tired. But about the storytelling. And I actually want to upload this one later, because this is a beautiful story, had the truth. About this lady. She does a great job of sharing with children this wonderful story, this fairy tale. And I'm going to upload that one, so I'm just giving you a heads up. And that's all it's going to be, so it's not going to be there. Oh, and then this lady, I am going to play this one. So I want to wish you a happy International Fairy Tale Day. And let's listen. That's my partner, what'll I do? That's my partner, I do. Do like darling. What darling? What I do? Do like darling. Woo! Anyway, so happy International Fairy Tale Day. Well, not fairy tale, I'm sorry. Happy International Storytelling Day. Okay? And love you all. And yeah, don't know what to say. Anyway, God bless. Love you all. Take care.